you should have conviction in the stock. Now, in order for me to have conviction in a stock, it needs to be fundamentally strong. It needs to have a compelling story and great prospects. Because when you're buying a stock, when other people are selling, when you're buying, you're taking advantage of the weakness in the stock, you're kind of going against the grain, and it takes a lot of mental grit to go against the grain and buy when everybody else wants to sell. So you really need to know what you own and what you have, and have a tremendous amount of conviction. And for me, the chart alone is never going to give me enough conviction to trade a stock. I will never buy a stock on the chart alone. It has to have something that I believe in, and it has to make sense to me why the stock would go up. The stock should have good liquidity relative to the size of your account. It should be fairly easy to buy and sell because oftentimes the stock will not hold support, and you're going to have to reverse your position and get out. And this goes again for buying strength as well. So, I only trade stocks with sufficient liquidity based on the size of my account. And of course, it's going to vary depending on, if you're trading a 5-figure account or even a 6-figure account, your liquidity needs aren't going to be what a 7- or 8-figure account requires or more. So I'm typically trading stocks that are institutional type stocks where institutions can come in and accumulate shares. And this goes hand in hand with institutional sponsorship, which is the I in CanSlim. We are relying on the big money, on the smart money, to come in and support these stocks at these stress levels. So if a stock has no sponsorship or no good sponsorship that of proven ability, I'm probably not going to play those names as hard. So yeah, you want good liquidity and you want sponsorship. And if there is no sponsorship, there's a good chance there's no liquidity, because those big funds require sufficient liquidity to build sizable positions. All right, so when we buy a stock, whether we're buying strength or buying a pullback, there are two objectives whenever we put on a trade. And that is, one, we want to increase the odds of winning, right? We want to put the odds in our favor that the trade will be profitable. And we always want to be able to define our loss in case we're wrong. So that's the risk management end of it. But both of these should occur. So the typical approach that we typically teach, and that is written in Bill's book, and that many of the speakers have talked about, is buying strength, buying when a stock is moving